BlackBusters.
What's cracking, family? What's cracking? How y'all doing, man? We back. It is the month of October. I mean, we doing spooky films, man. We doing scary films, and we gonna do one right now, man. I'm your host, Big Jaw, and along with my co-host,
Trick or Tone.
Trick or Tone.
Trick or Tone.
Trick or Tone. I like that,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Clever.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Big Jaw, Trick or Tone, and we are doing. Before we get to that, we got a guest, as y'all can see. And this brother here, I finally got him on the show. He's a busy man, and he blessed me with the honor of being here. And I gotta say, I'm happy here, bro. And we about to have fun with this film. My boy, brother Cornell Ross.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting to see
man, Nelly Viz, man. Yes, sir, bro.
More of John is famous friends.
Oh man. Hey, the thing is, this dude was famous before me. Absolutely. If you even call me famous, I don't even know if that's even the case.
You got to understand,
but man,
like,
this guy,
for both of you guys, you know. Even before we started rocking on this podcast, and even before you showed up, like there's a whole, I mean, you guys know there's millions of people that see you guys on a regular basis. Right? Like, you know, to see you guys all the time, to see you guys more than you might see a Tay Diggs or a Morris Chestnut or somebody you seeing on the screen. So you got to understand, like, you know, for the guys on the other side of the phone, the other side of the screen, big deals,
man.
That's a big deal.
I'll accept it. That's what's up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
take the flowers
first. I will, man.
Like, nigga, here.
Good, man. All right, okay, man. I got some water.
They go vase too, nigga.
Got some aspirin and some
water.
That
shit.
A little vase. You know what I'm saying? The vase too, nigga. They better be here when I get back. Yeah, bro. When I first started doing this, man, a full-time situation, I remember watching you, man. And he had so many followers, and I was like, bro, that's dope. And it's not about followers. We both know that. But just to see somebody that seems to be around the same age as me, doing some of the a very similar style of comedy, which is narrative, as what I wanted to do, and I wasn't even doing that much yet. I saw him. I was like, man, he got so many followers. How long did it take him to get there, man? And I remember just saying, bro, don't even worry about how many followers you can get and how quick you can get them. Just start working, do the work. And I noticed that about you, bro. You've been doing the work. You self-taught. That's the most. I went to film school. You know what I'm saying? And then when I met you and got to be around you and heard and talked to you and learned things about you, like, bro, first of all, you from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? That's love. You know what I mean? That's dope. And my whole family, my dad's side is from Cleveland, man. So yeah, you went to the same high school as my pops, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, Collinwood High School.
Man,
off
bro.
St. Clair.
Yes, sir. Off St. Clair, man. That's dope, dog. So, nah, man, we have a lot of similarities, bro. I feel like we have a lot of things that we enjoy when it comes to the art of filmmaking and storytelling. And so that's why you're here, bro. Because I'm going to get to the movie, y'all. But, like, I wanted to talk to Brother Ross, give him his flowers, man. You were inspiration and definitely motivated me to keep pushing. Very, very, very friendly competition. You know what I'm saying? I'd be looking at yourself like, damn, that's dope. That's super tight. Yeah.
Like what he did right there.
Yeah, of course. And I just aspire to be great as you are. And I'm sure you do. I'm sure you feel the same way about aspiring to be great as well. And looking at stuff like this movie was definitely inspirational when I went to go see it, because it seemed like the writers and the actors were all around our age, and black. And they pulled off a horror. And so now I'm going to get to the title. We are about to watch The Blackening. You know what I mean? The Blackening, directed by Tim Story, written by Tracy Oliver and Dewayne Perkins, who also plays, Dewayne Perkins plays Dewayne. He plays Dewayne. He plays Dewayne in the movie. The Blackening was dope, starring Byers, Melvin, Gregg, Dewayne Perkins, Sinqua. I don't know if it's Sinqua or Sinqua. I apologize, brother. Brother Wills. Brother Walls. Sinqua Walls, J. Pharoah, Antoinette Robertson, ex-Mayo, Jermaine Fowler. It's cracking. It's Yvonne Orji. Everybody's in this bad boy, man. And it's dope. It was super funny. And we'll get to how we're gonna break it down in a minute. But like I just want to give the credit to the actors and the cast. And
it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, man.
It's a great movie. I like this movie a lot. Okay. And it'll be interesting if it keeps having rewatch value. right? You know, like the movies that we love, like we were talking kind of like before about like some of our favorite movies, and they become that way because you can watch them again and again and again, and they retain. This movie has a lot of good things going for it, so I think it's off to a great start. It could have the makings of a classic because the second time I watched it, which was for this podcast, I enjoyed it about the same, if not more, than the first time. Okay, and that's normally the sign that a movie has good lasting power. Yes, that it's going to be one of those ones that, like, you know, we talk about for the ages.
Real quick, I'm not gonna. I have a tendency to do like scene for scene or a part of the film, and I just go through like the chronological order of how it went down. But we'll just say the movie is about 7 friends that go away for the weekend and end up trapped in the cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. Will their street smarts and knowledge of horror movies help them stay alive? Probably not. Yeah, because they're black. In horror movies, black people don't do well. But this seems to be a horror movie written by black people.
Yeah. That's what makes it so tough.
We'll get into that. Towards the middle towards the end, towards the middle or the end of this episode. But it was a dope movie. I agree. I love the cast. You know, the cast was dope. They were funny. Fresh. I felt like they were good representations of who they are. Yeah. Like black people, it was a good spritz of hood, just black people, and then there's niggas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But
all niggas are black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But not all black people are niggas. You know what I'm saying?
This movie takes that Venn diagram and it's perfectly balanced, right? Because the characters are all educated. They met in college, right? Like, you know, and so there's a certain sophistication that they have, right? So the jokes and the dialogue are all like at a higher level than like maybe like at your base level. But then there's also these things that are very much like quintessentially black, right? Like, you know, like the spades, like, you know, the sugar Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the authentic way that they say nigga, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like all of that shit was real. There was nothing that felt inauthentic about these characters. Like everybody seemed real. Seemed like somebody you knew.
Right. Perfect. Now, question: is there a character in this film that you either a character that you know? I feel like I know everybody in this in this film.
Oh yeah.
But specifically, who's the closest character that you can kind of relate to?
Relate to? Relate to.
That's an interesting question.
Which one? Yeah. It will probably be what was his name? What's his name? Namdi. Yeah, like probably him. Right. Because can't be Dewayne because
right.
And then Melvin, he was dating a white chick. So that ain't for me. Probably Namdi because you know he had his way. He used to be a certain way, and then he changed.
He grew up.
Changed a couple times.
He changed.
They was talking about like, oh, you said this before, blah blah blah. You know, people say they're gonna change, but like to actually change, and hopefully he don't cheat this time. Hopefully he really change, but probably him.
Yeah. So
out of all the people, and a little bit of the one dude. That
Jay
played
Farrell?
Clifton. No.
Clifton.
A little bit. Because it's like certain, you know, I grew up in the hood. I would be around certain stuff, but it's certain stuff I didn't want to be involved in. So it's like, but I was still cool. I wasn't like, he was just over the top. Over the top. Yeah. Like,
right. So,
but it was like, so it's a mixture of both of them.
Yeah. Let's talk real quick. We're going to talk about, it's 7 characters, but let's talk about the personalities. We had, King, you're talking Melvin Gregg's character King. Shout out to Melvin Gregg, man. He killed that role.
Yeah.
I'm every time I see you, time and time again, man, you impress me, brother. You're doing your thing, and not just because I met you and I know you a little bit. It's because I really respect what you're doing, man. Yeah. So that's dope. It was great to see him play this character, and I think it matches him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you know Melvin. His character, obviously, he's a different guy, but even the way he talks, you can tell he's from like a certain part. Wherever part of where he's from is probably the hood part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is about how he talks and how he acts.
Yeah.
but he actually grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like I can relate to that. I'm from the hood, but I went to school. You know what I'm saying? So even though even around my cousins, I'm very comfortable. I used to be right there doing all the goofy shit and all the shit I wasn't supposed to be doing with my cousins. But then I went off to college and got around a whole different group of people. And for the long, and even after college, I still hung out with those type of people. And so the guys I hung out with when I was 15 are not the same guys I hung out when I was 25.
Right. Gotcha.
So you can see the difference in the maturity in me. I see that in him.
Yeah.
So I definitely can relate to him and Namdi for sure.
Matter of fact, now that you say that, me too with Melvin.
That's what I was thinking.
College changed me.
Man.
Like, college really opened me to different perspectives because I grew up on the east side of Cleveland. All I knew was hood, but going to college, I was the minority. So
that's crazy.
I'm in certain classes like, oh shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm meeting people from all over, not even just white people. I'm meeting people from different countries and hearing their backstories. I'm like, damn. And it made me appreciate my childhood a little bit more because when I meet people from other countries that was like poor or something, it's like, damn, they went through all that. I shouldn't be complaining.
Right.
Because I didn't have it as bad as I thought I did.
Right,
but it's like, as a kid, you don't really know. You just want what you want.
You want what you don't have a lot of the time. You're not necessarily not grateful for all the things you have.
Yeah.
Same thing with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the same thing, man, because like the east side of Cleveland, bro, my cousins live there, man.
Yeah.
I go back to visit, and I'm like, man, it's crazy. And most of my cousins that live in Cleveland grew up with me in L.A. Like their mother, which is my first cousin, she's older than us. She's old enough to be my mom. And so all her oldest daughter is my cousin. We're the same age.
Bone is from East Cleveland, right? Bone Thugs?
Yes.
They from East Cleveland?
Cleveland. The east side of Cleveland.
So east side of Cleveland?
Yeah.
That's where you're from?
Yeah. And they used to, matter of fact, when I was a kid, they used to come around sometimes. Like I used to be on like 93rd and St. Clair.
That's crazy.
And they knew like people over there. So sometimes they'll come down and I remember being a kid. I'm like, oh,
that's
they here.
They used to terrify me.
Nah.
I mean, like
with the whole style, the Ouija board and all that.
Like that part was not terrifying to me, but like, and I love their music,
right?
But they looked grimy, right? Like they looked grimy. The early videos was grimy. That was the beautiful part about hip hop at that time is that an artist would pop up from an area and would transport you into their world, and I remember thinking like, damn.
Yeah,
like
they even said it. It's 99 is where you find me. Look at me, yeah, yo. They would let you know they putting on for their city, bro.
Yeah. So and, that was like my impression of East Cleveland for like 20 years. Just like, oh yeah, Bone Thugs, Thuggish Ruggish. Like, you know,
my cousins that grew up with me in South Central, like they moved. Their mother, my cousin Marsha, moved them all, and the 6 of them moved all 6 of my siblings. I mean, my cousins. Back to Cleveland where she was born and where our family is from. You know what I'm saying? And they like, bruh, we left one hood to a whole nother different type of hood. Yeah. It's just grimy out here. Just like mama, why you move us back here? You know what I'm saying? At least we got palm trees. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And when you move to a new hood, you got to start all over. Like, cause you don't know nobody.
You don't know
so
the
now
rules.
My cousins, my male cousins, they into it.
Yeah.
They into it. They talking about we from LA and them niggas out there in Cleveland don't give a damn about you being from LA. We're gonna show you what we think about LA for sure.
Can you fight?
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, man.
Can you fight?
Exactly.
Show me the West Coast hands.
So yeah, exactly. So to grow up and then, like you say, mature and become a better part of yourself, a better version of yourself. I think that's what Melvin did. That was dope. And then of course you got Grace Byers who played Allison. Yeah, she's a multiracial girl, biracial chick.
I love that. And I think, and her shit wasn't heavy handed, right? Like, you know, she was open about it, but she was a real one. Like, you know, like she was a real one. She didn't skip a beat. You know, she wasn't like the character from Clueless. Right. Like Stacey Dash's character from Clueless. Like, she just happened to be, a black girl.
Happened to be biracial.
Just happened to be biracial.
Yeah. And there's a difference between some people be like, oh, I'm not black, I'm mixed.
Yeah.
Or I'm mixed.
She identify as black.
Yeah, most black people do. If you black, you know, you black first, because they're going to see you black. They're going to see you black and something else, but you black.
And she was funny.
Yeah. Everybody was funny.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The writing was smart. It was sharp. It was cracking, man. And shout out to Dewayne Perkins, who was one of the co-writers. He also played Dewayne on the actual show as one of the characters. He did his thing. The writing is why this movie works.
Yes. In my opinion. Because this movie doesn't rely too heavily on gags.
Right.
Or jump scares. Or any of the other things that like movies of this type kind of rely upon. This movie is just really like sharp, really good tweet-worthy language. Like, I felt that this script was like a combination of like 70% shit that clever people say in tweets,
right,
or saying captions, and then like narrative, pushing stuff that kind of put the storyline together. So as someone that loves that kind of like quick, kind of like snarp, are you in on the joke?
Yeah.
Do you know what's up? It was superior.
All the things that the black folks yell in the crowd in the movie theater, when you're like, don't go in there, don't say that. Why would you do that? They saying it in camera, on camera, inside the movie.
Yeah.
Like when Yvonne Orji was looking at the door got cracked open, and she started looking at the little door opening. She was like, "Hello, anybody here?" And her boyfriend touched her on the shoulder, and didn't say nothing. And she screamed, and she elbowed him in the face. Hell, what are you doing? Well, you hit me in the face.
Legit.
Why would you walk up on me and not say nothing?
Yeah.
I always ask that question when I see in the scary movies where the woman is looking out the window and then her dude or somebody's right next to her. Hey, baby, why would you not say nothing? You see me looking, saying hello, calling your name.
We in a cabin in the middle of the woods.
And she said we in a cabin in the middle of the woods. I'm by myself. Why would you not say something? I love that because that to me that's more realistic than just moving on with the conversation.
Interesting question.
What's happening?
That brings us to like the premise of this movie, and this is black people in non-black spaces.
Right.
Is a cabin in real life, not in this movie, but is a cabin in the woods off limits for black people? Is that something that we should or should not do?
Here's the thing.
Because the premise of this movie is that you shouldn't do it.
Right.
In real world, I've never done it. So it's like, is it just one of those things that we instinctively have avoided because we just feel like that ain't...
We don't belong here.
We don't do that.
However, you got something for that?
You saying, should we go to the cabin?
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere? Or like, is it other cabins?
Cabins? Yeah. Is it like a community of cabins?
Community of cabins? What, I mean, like...
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Like
that's a black response, my nigga. Yeah. Hey, is there other cabins around?
Because I would have questions like, all right, you want to go on a trip to a cabin? I'm like, where's the cabin?
Right.
How far is the city? Or
19 miles away from the city?
And you already concerned, right?
Right.
Like imagine like John, you were, let's say you're like, listen, man, I'm working on a feature film and I'm inviting, a couple other creators and their spouses out. We're gonna rent a cabin and we're gonna write for 3 days. And all you give this man is the address, right? So as he's navigating, he's getting deeper and deeper off the freeway.
As soon as my signal starts to look, as soon as I get 2 bars, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna slow down and pull up to the side.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I only got 2 bars left. Am I gonna lose all my bars if I keep coming?
You would get concerned.
Hey, and how far you would get?
Before I even leave, I'm looking at the address.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Google Maps and
before you said yes, you said what's all there? Is there any more cabins left around the other cabins?
Because I need to know for safety purposes.
Yeah. If I need to.
And what are we worried about? Like this, we all have the same feeling, right? The same kind of vibe about the cabin in the woods. Right.
Caucasians,
right?
Bro.
Like bad things happen.
Yeah.
And they're especially gonna happen to us.
Think of it like this. A white person might feel uncomfortable going to East Cleveland or west side of South Central or Pasadena because it's cracking out in Pasadena too. You know what I'm saying? Are we safe here? Are we? Yeah. You see all these black folks around and all these lowriders and Cadillacs and khakis and, you know what I'm saying, do-rags and all that. I feel the same way. A black person in the woods, it's like, are we safe here?
Yeah.
Because this is their habitat. They be doing the lumberjack shit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's not us.
That ain't really us.
That's not us.
I don't want to sleep outside and
animals
and random white people could be out there.
Animals and random white people. The wildlings.
And that's
they be hunting.
That's the situation that our characters find themselves in. It's like being rewarded. Like it's almost like they've earned the right they've earned the right to these experiences. Right? They've gone to college, they've graduated, they're building careers.
Yes.
They've earned to be able to rent any other Airbnb like everyone else and have a weekend.
Right.
But even then, like just where they are is already frightening. So it's frightening to us as the audience, and it's frightening to them as characters. Just simply existing in this environment.
As soon as the homie pulling up, right? You're absolutely right. Dewayne was pulling up They were driving from the city to the cabin, and he's probably expecting to hit a bend and see like a resort. He hit a bend and saw this one singular cabin. He was like, "Oh, nah, this is where we staying?"
Yeah.
He said right away, "This is where we staying?"
Yeah.
Nah, here's the thing. To answer your question, yes, Black folks can go to a cabin in the woods if it's 7 of us.
Yeah.
They was deep. They was deep. So I feel like, and here's the thing. You can go to the cabin if you Black, if you got 6 other Black people with you, right? And equal a few women, a few men, and we collectively support each other and what's the word? Defend, to protect each other.
Yeah.
Of course. Black folks can go to the woods if they're deep in this 7 of y'all can protect each other, and none of them died. Spoiler alert. Yeah. But this movie been out for some time now. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't watched the movie, shame on you, because it's a Black film, and you should have went and saw it in the first week that it was out. Yeah. So and I love the fact that didn't nobody die.
Well, we had our first 2. We had.
You're right. Let me fall back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was some but that proves my point. So I said that Black folks can go to the woods if you go deep. But couples, a couple of Black people can't go to the woods. Yeah. Don't do a romantic getaway with your wife, your lady. I'm gonna surprise you. I know we from the hood. You always wanted to go to the camp in the woods. I'm gonna take you for your birthday. I'm gonna take you for our anniversary, and you take her to a cabin in the woods with just you and her. Yeah. Nah,
that's not a good look.
Because y'all didn't even make it past the first night.
It's also important to not bring anybody that you don't really fuck with. Right? Like, like especially as this movie, like anybody you do go to the cabins with, they gotta be crew.
They gotta be crew.
Because I'll be damned. They got a chance to save you.
Yeah.
They put the gun down and just watch you.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my bullets, man.
Yeah. I remember what you did.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't have no beef with them, but you just don't fuck with them like that.
You just don't fuck with them like that.
You don't even have to have no beef. You can just be like, I'm cool with you. We real cool, right? But if it's one of these, help me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit this gate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
we cool, but we ain't fam.
Yeah.
It's like the rule is everybody you bring on a trip is somebody you would run back to get.
Right.
Like, like there's some people, if we all running and they trip and fall, it's got to be somebody that you couldn't take another step forward without going to pick them back up. Yeah. If it's somebody that you would think twice about, like, he didn't make it. What do you think about Kev? Kev failed, man. He didn't make it.
He been slowing us down all day.
Right. And speaking of slowing somebody down, I'm going to keep it 100.
Yeah.
Bro, life is about pros and cons. I always say this. If I'm going to a cabin in the woods and it's going to be with a group of people, I'm like, who's all going?
Yeah.
You can't be no buster. Because in the cabin in the woods, something can go wrong and might go wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Murphy's Law. You know what I mean? So who's coming? Even the women that's coming, all right, they gotta be thick, because if you're gonna do something, they gotta be thick. You know, they gotta be there. But they gotta also be not no busters. Like when this shit come out, jump out the fan, they'll hop in the river and try to swim across like old girl did. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody that's with it. All them chicks was with the business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the dudes were almost low key more than the dudes were.
Yeah.
Low key. So, and here's the thing: can they run? You just said he been slowing us down all day.
Yeah,
I ain't as fast as I used to be, y'all.
And
so it's pros and cons, but I'm big and I'm strong.
Yeah, you gotta have other skills.
You gotta have other skills. So I might not be able to keep up with you, Cornell. I promise you. But if you about to fall off a ledge, I could grab you and lift you up. You know what I'm saying?
It's the other way around.
The other way around is what it is.
You need to. You
help.
need a level team.
Yeah, you need us
Everybody
too.
need to be able to play their role.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So if if I had to lift somebody up, I could do that. If I need to be lifted up.
I can knock down the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I can knock a door down for sure.
I knock a door down
hold
for
the killer.
Yeah, I can hold the killer down.
I got the killer.
Yeah, if you're trying to come to the door, I can keep the door closed.
It's also important that you fucking with people that handle their poison well. And what I mean by that is people that can smoke and still function.
Yeah.
People that can drink and still function. People that can molly and still function.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because and people that
people who can roll and still roll.
People that can be cool off of that. Because it's a liability. If you out there in the woods and somebody drunk, your whole crew is weak now.
Yeah.
Because of this drunk that can't do the stuff.
Liability. Yeah. Oh, girl was off of Adderall. Allison's character, but she would trip out, and then she would figure it out and get back on her task. And she would hallucinate for a minute, and then she would come back and get it cracking.
Yeah, she started going crazy after she came to her senses.
Face. Right. So
she was a real one, but this whole scenario is what our characters find themselves in.
Right.
Even before we get to the game. Right? Like before we even
before the game, we kind of see the characters, the personality.
We see the characters, we see the personality, we see that they are uncomfortable, but probably used to being uncomfortable.
Right.
Like that's probably why they're crew, because they're probably used to being the only black person in the room, the only black person in the class. And so they've kind of formed this bond, which is interesting. And I think probably the most interesting part of the whole movie is this bond that they form with one exception and one character who we'll talk about a little bit later. Right. Like, but aside from him, they are squad. They look out for each other. They trust each other. There's history there. And then we get to the game. The Blackening.
The Blackening, which is a crazy game. I honestly think it's a dope-ass game.
I love that
without
game.
the blackface.
I love the game.
You know what I'm saying?
I love the questions.
Right.
I thought the questions were dope. I thought the questions were very much like you got your black card.
Yes.
Right? Like the Nas question was awesome. The Black People on Friends question, like to me that was probably the best example of the superior writing on the show. Was that whole part when they played the game.
Bro, that part was my favorite part. And I heard that it was a short film before this.
Okay.
It was a short film. And the short film portion of it was the actual game. And to see who's the blackest. And I think that's a dope ass way, because even people in the...
I remember that.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
I remember
when I leave here. But I should have watched it before I got here. I'm tripping. But the trivia questions were dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? And it had the people in the theater like answering as well. So it got us engaged to it. I think that
was the engaging part of the
super. I think that makes me like it even more. There's a few things I had to criticize about it, and we'll get to that in a minute. But honestly, overall, it's a dope ass film for that reason alone. And I think and the movie is basically what would happen if black people were in the woods and there was a killer out there. And I think this is I think that's what would happen. You know what I'm saying? Authentically. Ain't nobody superheroes. Folks are scared. You know what I'm saying? And if you outnumbered, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can get killed out there too. But if you deep and y'all trust each other and y'all stick together, even when they split up, they stuck together as a split.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't go nowhere by yourself.
When they split up, they was so torn about it, right? Like, she could barely even say it. She, she was almost throwing up like, we got to split up. Because that would be the last, like, it's so true. Like, if we was all out in the woods and this is like, all right, man, well, we going to go to the lake. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be like, yeah, okay, go check out the lake, Tone. It'd be like, man, if you don't stay with us and so we can figure this shit out.
Right.
Like, so that part is very real and very authentic.
Yeah, because it's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
True.
And why would you even want to be by yourself? Like, that don't even be making no sense. All right, you guys go to the car and I'll go back to the house by myself where the
That's not
as
how
big
we
as
roll.
I am. I'm yo, Cornell, man.
Come with me.
Pushing me back to the house, bro.
Come with
I
me.
forgot the keys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come with me.
I'm not gonna be like, no, I got this, bro.
And you shouldn't even let your friend go by themselves.
Yeah. You can't unless you gotta run me. I'm coming with you, bro.
Listen, we all grew up in neighborhoods. Some blocks you had to walk alone, right? Like, because you was walking home from school and maybe nobody was there. But most of the time, when there was trouble afoot, either them fools talking about jumping me or, or these fools were sweating me earlier today.
Right.
You grab a homie, walk with me.
Yeah.
I'm not, you just walk with me.
And the homies will come too. I used to be like, hey, bro, walk into the store.
100%.
I got to go to the store and get my mom some bread.
Yeah. That's how we roll. Like,
you walk by the homie house, knock on the door, like, is Cedric in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cedric. John at the door. Hey, what's up, bro? I got to walk to the store real quick.
Come with me.
All right, man. He put his shoes on.
He put his house shoes on
and
roll.
Yeah. Yep.
Boom.
That's the case.
Imagine somebody tell you no. Like for what?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, look. You know
he do the same thing for me. I was always the homie.
That's a buster.
Like, that's a buster.
That's a
bro. I was the dude. I was the homie, bro, that knocked on the door. I could have just came from the store and knocked on the door, and the certain especially certain kids.
Yeah.
And how you doing, Miss Bacon? Is Jade home? And I'm like, Jade, such I gonna say his name out there. He at the door. Come on, man, open the store real quick. All right, real quick. I'll be playing the game if they put it on pause.
Yep.
And my mama let me because she know what that meant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She knew that, okay. Yeah. Strength in numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This case something gotta happen, man. I'll be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Same thing here, bro. They in the woods. They split up in threes. And that's cool. And yeah, it's dope, man. Other characters, who else? Yvonne Orji. Shout out to her. She did her thing.
She did good.
She did dope. She did. I feel like if she was with the crew, she would have lasted because she was fighting.
Yeah, she was fighting. Very much a part of that crew. I could see why they was homies.
Right.
Like you know, I could totally see why they was homies. You know, she just happened to get got. That's all.
Yeah,
got there a little too
First
early.
one there. Yeah.
First one there by herself with her dude, and they were so. And I feel like if there was enough people there, that somebody would have got hurt, like somebody did. Like a king got shot with an arrow twice.
Yeah,
and like he did.
Was great.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope as hell.
Yeah.
So they saw they had some adversities, and then they regrouped and figured it out.
So are we ready to talk about Clifton?
Yeah, for sure, because he was early in the movie.
So Clifton is played by Jermaine Fowler.
Yes.
Really interesting character. Really interesting character. I was not a fan of the choices that Jermaine Fowler made as an actor. He didn't have to be physically different like he was. The things, the lip, the voice, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he could have just been
a square bear. You know what I mean? Like he just could have been like kind of corny, kind of nerdy. They made him, so physically different than the rest of the crew.
Right.
And I think that was unnecessary. I think they could have just played it. But spoiler alert, but his motivations for being the ultimate villain, I think were really interesting and really clever. Right? Like in this movie, the villain is supposed to be white people. And for a good portion of the movie, we believe that to be the case.
Right.
Until ultimately we find out that the true villain is Clifton. And what was his beef, how they did him, how they ostracized him at a party. Like how even in this tight-knit group of black people, he was segregated even further. So he didn't belong anywhere else, and he thought he belonged there, and he was having fun for the first time. That y'all niggas didn't teach me spades. Y'all let me drink way too much, and I got into some shit that ruined my life because y'all wasn't looking out for me because I'm different. I thought that was a really interesting part of the movie. That was my take.
Yeah.
Your face says you have a different take.
No, this is the same take, a similar take. Clifton was whack, bro.
Yeah.
I think they was a little over the top.
I mean, it made it it was too extreme, too unreal. That part was unrealistic to me. I don't even know nerdy dudes that's that nerdy.
Yeah, nobody is.
No one's that geek unless you special needs or something like.
Yeah,
he was almost like special needs. Like, hey guys, like he was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And then remember when baby girl Shanika was handing out shots and she was handing everybody their shot glass and he went to go sip it out of her hand. She said, "Hold it, nigga." Like,
like nobody gone.
Right. It's not that you're different, nigga. You're weird, bro.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with these people.
Yeah,
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
We don't fuck with you because you're weird, dude. We can't teach you not to sip a shot glass out of somebody's hand.
Everybody else just grabbing them.
Yeah, and honestly, when it comes to black folks, you can't play spades if you don't know how to play spades.
Right.
Sit your ass down and watch.
Yeah, boom. Like
ask
I said,
questions
we don't have time to teach
briefly
you.
in between hands.
Yeah.
Ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Watch us play. No one's gonna
take accountability.
Yeah, nigga, like don't just sit down because you want to be so much part of the crew that I'll play and then you reneged.
Yeah.
He said, and then he was like, "You're a renegade." He was like, That's the funny thing is how they really kicked him to the curb when he reneged.
Yeah.
That's a cardinal sin. You can't renege in spades, man. I literally seen family members fight. It was over the top. It's just a game, but when you drunk and faded, you know what I'm saying?
And it's such a demonstrative game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
the card comes down. Yeah,
Yes, bro.
Like even the older women.
I wish you would. Oh, that's the women are the ones I'm talking about. Those fighting. Kathy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How you fighting your sister?
Yeah.
Your cousin over spades?
Over spades.
No money involved. It's just
no money involved. It's all pride, and then your dumb ass can't count.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Say, I ain't being her partner no more. This bitch can't count.
Yeah.
Now they throwing shots.
Yeah.
That's why you ain't graduated. I see why. You can't even.
Yeah, all that.
Hey.
They're not even playing, talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I told you. I don't know why you picked her. You should have picked me. She can't play. She's trash.
She can't play. She trash.
And then, bitch, I'm tired of your motherfucking. They throwing client.
Now it's, yeah. I mean, like I've seen it happen. Spades is very demonstrative and it's a team game. But I've seen some motherfuckers slowly come to blows over the domino table.
Oh yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? Because the domino table, like, it's like injury over time. Look, this motherfucker giving up all the ass. You know what I mean? Like,
well, dude. I say, man, why you fighting one man?
Yeah.
Why put your ass there? Put your pants up, man. This nigga taxing you.
Why would you play that? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, bro, quit talking, play the game.
Washing the bones, like, looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen some motherfuckers be like, listen, stop talking shit. It's my bones. I'm gonna play the way I want to play. I'm sitting there like, here we go.
I seen bones get thrown at niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I say, bro. Yeah. So he got this whole thing. His whole vendetta started from him reneging in spades back in college, and which is crazy. We'll finish that story in a minute. I want to still talk about how weird he was, and how I don't know if it played that well.
It didn't,
because he wasn't likable. He didn't do anything. He blamed them for ostracizing them. But bro, you weird, dude.
Yeah.
Not different.
Yeah.
Different is one thing. You can rock with different. You can be from a different country, different culture, and then learn how to fit in. Bro, you just a strange dude. Even to the point where your mind doesn't even realize you take accountability for running over that person. You got drunk and you drove away. And you gonna say I drove away to get away from the bullying and I ran somebody over. Nah, bro. That's you, my nigga.
Yeah.
You could have sat in your car and sobered up and been mad.
It could have, I think it could have worked better for the film if he wasn't so weird. Right?
Yeah.
I think the fact that they made him so weird made him an obvious choice for what was really going on. Right? Like it made him an obvious choice. I think like if he had played it more subtle, right? Like then the movie works a little bit better.
Right.
It's more of the weird homie. You know what I mean? The weird homie, they've been fronting on him. They've been kind of bullying him. But it's just the fact that he does the facial stuff and the side of his mouth and the voice. Like, he's wholly an unlikable character, where if he was a little bit more likable, weird, but likable, odd, but likable, but he was unlikable. Like, nobody was fucking with him, which made it to the point of, why is he here? That was my other nitpick, is just that, like, nobody invited him.
Yeah.
Why is he here? Nobody even knows his name really. They so he wasn't really a part of the college crew. Why is he here? That should have been a red flag for everybody involved. Like, if you guys throw a function at the crib and it's only somebody that you like hung out with a couple of times in college is at the party, you might be like,
this, hey, you don't ever want to be on the other end of this. That's so that's to make you feel like shit. Yeah, no. You don't ever want to be. You never want the guy's face to go like,
"Who's your man's?"
Yeah, man. Yeah. So there wasn't a part in the scene. There was a scene where he said, Morgan invited me, and I'm like. Okay, so that explained why he was there. Yeah. But even then, like, Morgan didn't invite you because you don't invite people you know from college. You invite people that you loved from college.
Yeah, for this type of trip.
Yeah.
Right? Like this type of trip. Like, think who wasn't there. Like, King's wife wasn't there.
Right.
So and she might have been more appropriate to be there because she's King's, side piece.
Right.
So, like, she wasn't there, but Clifton is. little bit of a red flag.
Here's the thing. So I'll accept that only because he said Morgan invited me.
Mm-hmm.
But even when Clifton first got there, and he was like, "Anybody have a charger? Android?" They were like, "Nah, we don't do that, bro." Yeah. And they were like, "Hey, what's up, man? I ain't seen you since." And then and Dewayne was like looking at King like, "We ain't seen him since." Dewayne was like, King was like, "I don't know, man. I don't know that nigga."
Yeah.
He just kept it 100. I don't know this dude, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wouldn't invite one of my homies that I'm cool with. Now, there could be a person, maybe Morgan was cooler with him and only with him.
Yeah.
And the rest, she wouldn't invite him to a place
there was a discussion that we know didn't happen, which is when they were making the decision to invite Nnamdi, right? Mm-hmm. Because there was a who all gonna be there conversation,
right?
And so Nnamdi was invited, which was going to fuck with Dewayne because
I love that part. I love that part of the storyline. One of those subplots was the issue between Nnamdi and Dewayne and Lisa, and Lisa and Dewayne being like best friends through college, and of course you got the homegirl being involved with this dude. He done broke her heart, cheated on her 2 or 3 times, and now he's upset because every time he cheats, she comes running to him crying, and she gets back with him. So I understand why she was like, he's gonna come because for one, we back together. Plus, he's a loved one. You know what I'm saying? King's gonna want him to be there.
And everybody knows him. And everybody's happy to see him. The only person that's not happy to see him is Dewayne. When he put the fist up for the pound with Dewayne.
What up, homie? Oh, he said, what's happening? What's good? So that's cool. I can see that. Here's the thing. I remember me and my homeboys, we used to go to Vegas. My boys from high school, actually. We used to go to Vegas for every year, usually in August, every summer. And because a lot of us live in different places now, grown, some of us married, stuff like that. Most of us are married with kids and all that. And one year, one of the homies went. And this is a homie that, now mind you, usually like 6 or 7 of us go. This time he went in addition. And it was cool. Everything was cool. And then everybody had to like chip in to pay for like, the rooms. And one dude was booking them, so everyone gave him his money. And the homie didn't pay. And even he one of my brothers to this day, he probably watching this right now. Hey, so I ain't saying your name. So those who don't know, don't know.
You still owe that $325.
You know what I'm saying? And just so a lot of the homies like, see, this is why. And these dudes knew each other before I knew them. You know what I'm saying? I moved to this area in high school. These guys knew each other since they was like Pop Warner football. And so, and even two of these guys in particular had a couple run-ins throughout our friendship. It's still love. You know what I'm saying? We at his wedding, we in his wedding. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, damn, he went foul again. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though he was coming and all the homies knew he was coming, no one said anything. Even the homie that said something afterward, he was like, see, I knew. I'm not surprised.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's your man.
That's your
man. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them situations, man. Like, so Dewayne looking at Lisa like, this dude is going to steal. Y'all consider him a friend still? He be doing our homegirl like that? And so Dewayne is like, oh, no, Nnamdi's like, bro, I've changed. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real thing, too. How many niggas you know? You could be the nigga that was like, man, I would never do the shit I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially when it comes to smashing.
Right.
Like, like there are a lot of guys who the 22-year-old version of them and the 30-year-old version with them are two fundamentally different men.
Right.
And
should be.
Yeah. Should be.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Usually it should
not
be.
Not all the time. And a lot of those men are not able to get their girlfriend when they was 22.
Right.
Because they put them through too much shit. And that now I'm 30, I'm ready, I'm calling, and she's just like, listen, man, it's too much trauma. You done fucked me over too many times. I cannot trust you. Bruh. Fundamentally cannot trust you.
Bruh, my boy got married, man, to his college sweetheart. And we grown now. This is after grad school and all that. So this is years later. They get married. So at the wedding, they put me at a table with the bride's, one of her best friends I used to mess with back when I was 19 years old. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't awkward. I'm a lot different now, but and we sat at the table together, and I knew they did it on purpose. Yeah, and I was like, yo, I look at the at the you got at the name on the table. I look back at my homeboy. He's watching me.
Yeah,
this is his wedding.
Yeah,
I'm walking from we had the reception. I turn around. He goes. He did that. He was like. I say, nigga, you crazy, bro. So, but I'm definitely not the same dude I was at 19 that I was when we probably was like, I might have been 28. No, I wasn't that old. No, I was. I was damn near like, I probably was around 20, older than 26.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, so I could definitely relate to Nnamdi. Like now, he finally got a chance to do right by the woman he used to do wrong when he was younger. And shit, he did right by her. At the end of the day,
he saved her.
He saved her, bro.
They're gonna be all right.
And so I think that's why. But I respect the homie Dewayne for not rocking with you, bro. She might have forgave you, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't have to. My feelings are attached to you, so she might be blindly in love with you. I'm not. I see you for the dude that you were, and I think you're the same guy.
Yeah.
So and that's a realistic situation. I can see a best friend hating the new boyfriend that used to be the old boyfriend. It's now the new one again. You know
the only thing that's interesting is that none of the other girls felt that way, right? Like like none of the other female characters felt that way, but Dewayne did, right? And normally that role is cast for one of the girls, to play that. In this particular instance, they do it with Dewayne, which is I'm not saying it's bad or wrong. It's just unusual, right? You don't normally see that. But like you said, he was a good character. His heart was in the right spot. He evolved as the movie evolved, and I think it was a good place of conflict.
No, I was gonna say the reason it was probably different from him because he was saying like she always came to him. He had to nurture her back and see all that, and they probably knew, but he probably was the one really there while she was crying and going through all that. So it's like that's an emotional burden.
He knows all the dirt.
He said this, and which I thought the writer was crazy, and they said it in the part of the scene. They said it in the part of a movie where it was super, super chaotic.
Oh, you talking about when they finally addressed it?
He had dropped them bars on her. He dropped them bars on her. I was like, oh shit. And him being the writer of this movie, man, I'm like, dog, they did their thing. They put their foot on the script for sure. There was a part where Allison's character.
She cornered him.
She caught him in the hallway and was like, "Hey man, I heard that you back." Yeah, she a real quick one. Her being a woman, she just did what she did and moved on. But even though Dewayne's character is clearly a gay man, he's still a man. And a lot of times when you have a female best friend, that's your sister. So it's a little different. I got 3 sisters. Bro. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby, but I still got 3 sisters. I'm very protective of them.
That's a very good point.
And sometimes I'm a little. You'll see me act out a character around my sisters if I feel like I need to be there for her. I've done some weird shit like, bro, I ain't never seen you like that before. You ain't never seen me around my sister. First time it ever happened, I went through 5 years of college, bro. And then I graduated, and my family came to see me graduate. And after that, we all went out deep, 20-something deep. All the youngsters went out. And we in Oakland. And I'm with my sister for the first time. Some of my homies are seeing my sister for the first time. And the dude was trying to talk to my sister. I start tripping. All he did was, how you doing? I start tripping. And the homies like, hey, Joe, you tripping, man? What's wrong with you? I'm the big lovable guy. I just want to have fun, dance on the girls and all that. I don't want to trip. I start tripping. I'm in dude's face. And my sister, this is my big sister. She said, what are you doing, man? Chill. Nah, fuck all that. Nigga. Hey, nigga, she good, homie. I'm tripping. But mind you, I'm not used to being around my sister in that environment. I don't go to the club with my sister.
Yeah.
The idea of a man talking to my sister that's not related to her.
Nah. Yeah, especially when you know their intentions.
Yeah.
That's you ain't here to find
and we in Oakland, we in the hood.
Yeah, that's hard.
And the homie like, I ain't never seen you trip like that, bro. You usually be the one telling us not to trip. I said, yeah, but you ain't never seen me around my sister. And I had never really seen myself around my sister in that setting. It was trip. So that's Dewayne tripping off his sister. Going back and forth with a dude that he don't think is right for her. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I definitely understand Dewayne in that party. I'm not dapping you up, nigga. Fuck that. I know you from way back then, but I know you for a scoundrel, homie.
Yeah, you
know
foul.
What I'm saying? You foul.
You foul.
Yeah, so their relationship turned. I love it. It's a few not coming of age, but a few people evolving in this movie.
Good moments.
They care. They are.
Yeah.
So eventually we got to get into some awards. Are there any other scenes, characters, or themes that we should talk about before we get into awards? All
right, so real quick. I love this film, but I gotta say why I didn't like parts of this film. I thought the two main bad guys were too goofy. I know it's a comedy, but it was kind of too like a little scary movie-ish.
Yeah.
They were too lumbersome and too kind of stupid. Yeah. So it kind of threw it all. There was a part of the movie that I didn't find as strong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like once the three characters ran off to the water, I thought that was kind of corny.
Yeah.
Not to run off to the water, but like her swimming, that was cool.
Yeah.
But like he was missing her. Like he was missing her with the arrow. And he was so sharp.
Yeah.
This whole time. And she ain't moving that fast. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't running, she's swimming in the same direction. But I love.
This got hit once.
Yeah, ouch, a nicker or something like that.
Yeah,
It caught in her weave and rip her wig off or something.
Yeah,
that could be funny. But like, it wasn't that bad. But the fact that I wasn't scared of those guys. I think they showed them too early. I think the killers were being seen. So even though they were masked up, but they was just too many times to where the mystique of them being scary wasn't there no more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think. As far as horror movies go, it has all of the horror movie tropes, but it could have been scarier. Like when our two main characters get killed at the beginning, that was scary.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's in the dark, the shot comes out of the dark.
Yes.
So I think if you keep the bad guys, the boogeymen in the shadows for a lot longer, which is what like most good slasher movies do.
Yes.
Like they usually don't get a full look at the killer until like the third act or second or third act, right? So I think you're right. I think they do introduce these guys a little bit too early and they're not scary.
Right.
They are stupid and cumbersome and all of that kind of stuff. And so now I'm no longer, you've lost the suspense part of it for me. The only thing that you're going to be able to get me with is a jump scare. Right, which is cheating anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it could have held the scary part a little bit longer if they had done better with the bad guys. I agree with that.
And these big old dudes had arrows only. They never grabbed nobody, never threw nobody across the room, never almost choked somebody out till they got hit over the head with a. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't. It kind of took the movie a notch down for me.
Yeah,
the writing was top notch. The acting, the jokes were dope. Even the quick jokes. You know what I'm saying? The Shanika should be the one. She's the blackest because she said nigga the most. Nigga. Yeah, that was I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Those parts were perfect.
It was quick. It was fast. The timing was dope. So that's why I was like, and then even the ending with Jermaine Fowler character Clifton being the killer, and his reason why. It was just like it would have been so much better had he lost the talk and was like talking regular.
Yeah.
I'm still a geek. I'm still this and the other. But y'all never liked me. You guys always was faking like you liked me. But he was still just a geek. That's what I mean. I just
it made you not like him.
I didn't dig the choices. You know what I'm saying?
Like if he was just weird, it would have made his character so much more interesting. Right? Like cause like I was thinking about who that guy has been in my life, right? And there's been a couple of kind of guys like that like, yeah, man, like back when I was 20, I'd be drinking, I'd talk about this motherfucker's car. You know what I mean? Like, I'd talk about the fact that he can't dance, that he ain't never getting no ass.
Right.
And we used to, and so there were a couple of people like that were not physically weird, because no shade or disrespect to anybody that's physically weird, we just were not hanging with them, right? Like, they wouldn't have been in the apartment anyway for the party, but it would have just been interesting if he was kind of like the nerd. Just a nerd,
not a
just
geek.
Kind of like
not geek, just a nerd,
or even somebody who like didn't grow up around black people. That's a more interesting because we, as a culture, sometimes we do shade those people. You ain't never seen Boomerang? You know what I mean?
Hey, man, get this dude away from me, man. I'm a catch sucker, man.
Never seen Friday.
Yeah.
You never had no Kool-Aid? You know what I mean? Like,
what is this juice? This is sweet juice?
Yeah, nah. He don't know about that. You know what I mean? Go back, see you later, Trader Joe's. Right. So we will kind of lampoon certain people who we feel like don't have enough like black merits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that could have been a more interesting angle to take instead of making.
I think that's what they should have played off of.
Yep.
Like that, him not doing like the shit we consider black.
Right.
Instead of it's just spades. It should have been like more than
just
that.
spades.
Yeah.
You know, for black people, spades is life or death. I get it. So they played on that part, but it could have been like, Namdi, man, you always teased me.
Yep.
I was like,
he should have it should have been specific things they did.
And like, for example, and
then that could have been the last straw.
Right. Yeah. Exactly, man. Like he has an issue with everybody except you, but you're here, so you're a witness. So I gotta kill you too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like he could be laughing along. Hey man, I mean no disrespect, man, but it's good to see you. I guess, man. But who invited you here, Clifton?
Like if
Morgan did.
If it was like he just wanted to be down, and it was like, listen, y'all don't even know, man. Like before the high school that I went to, I was the only black kid at that high school. And they talk shit about me every day. And I never had no prom date. I never had no winter formal date, nothing. And then I got to college and I met y'all. And, it just would have made me, I was just so happy whenever I got a chance to be around y'all or be near y'all. But y'all did me so fucking dirty because I couldn't play spades and I couldn't play dominoes.
Couldn't dance.
And I never couldn't dance. And I was wearing the wrong sneakers. And I didn't match or whatever, whatever the shit is. And then I left because y'all wouldn't let me in. And then I got into this accident or whatever, but y'all should have been looking out for me because ain't I black too? Right? Like, and I, you know what I mean? So like that would have been like, oh, this character is fucking phenomenal, had layers. And I think you could have still did that, keeping it fun and funny and light and everything, but now Clifton,
the message would have
it means so much more,
right?
To the overall film. So like, that's how I think we all like we've all kind of like workshopped it together of like that's a better way to make Clifton. And if you make Clifton work better, the whole movie elevates.
Yeah. And it would have been more of a surprise because he was weird the whole time. So when it was like, all right.
He stayed weird. Yeah. There was no change.
Yeah.
I do like the part that he was propped up right there with a note. Along with the dead with Jay Pharoah, and then he was alive. That was tight.
Yeah,
that caught me off guard. Well, I watched it the first time and I missed the first 10 minutes of it, so I knew that he was a killer from the first time I watched it. Yeah. So the second time around, I wasn't surprised, but I would have been surprised probably. Were you surprised when he popped up, or you thought he was dead?
Well, I thought he was dead. I thought he had something to do with it, but that part I didn't know if he was.
So when he popped up alive still after you thought he was dead, that was a surprise to you.
It was surprising but not shocking, right? Okay. Because I was already like
suspicious.
That's already.
There were some parts before
they should have been more subtle with him because they were saying who invited. It's like all them lines directly. It's like he got something to do with this.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Like they literally make a habit to point him out. Like nobody likes him. He's new here. Who invited him? One of these kids is not like the other.
They should have did that to somebody else to throw it off of him. Like if they if they would have focused on Namdi, or a couple of them, maybe
real
a couple
suspicion.
It should have been this. They could have said like, "Hey man, who invited you, bro?" I mean, Morgan did. And Morgan always took pity on dude. She always it could have made more sense. Like
that right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that line right there makes him
like,
be in there.
This might be doing too much to the plot of the story, but it could have been a flashback when he ran into Morgan randomly 2 weeks before the trip. He was like, "Hey, me and my friends are he overheard her saying me and my friends are going to this cabin in the woods, blah blah blah, for like a little reunion. It's been like almost 10 years since we all been together. Hey Morgan, I heard you guys are going to the woods. That'd be cool to meet you guys, see all the guys again."
Yeah.
She shouldn't have done this, and then probably wouldn't do this in real life. But in the movie, she'd be like, "Yeah, you can come too. Yeah, it was fine, cool. Just give me the address, and I'll be there.
Yeah,
cool." And then he shows up. That's maybe too much. They might be watching like, "We ain't writing all that." That's fine, but like, give him more reason, more explain why he was there. It made more sense.
Yeah, how did he know where they was at?
Right?
How would he know? He wasn't cool with none of them.
Yeah, and how did he get the people that they were the Airbnb that Lisa rented out? These two guys are willing to kill and for $1,000.
Yeah,
are they that racist?
That's
maybe they.
You racist if you killing a whole group of people for $1,000. It ain't the money.
I'd have did it for free, buddy.
What if a white dude was like, "I ain't racist.
$1,000.
They offered me $200,000 to kill these people. I'm not racist. I'm just an opportunist to get that bread."
He didn't know I'd do it for free.
Right.
Okay, let's get into some awards.
For sure.
Who's the MVP
Ooh.
of the Blackening? All right, so when we talk about MVP, we either talking about the most important character, most important performance, either just from either on screen, on page, or off. Who's the MVP? Who's the character, actor, theme that makes this shit work?
For me, it'll probably be between two, probably like Lisa or Dewayne.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's crazy how Dewayne could be he could be one of the
because he was involved in and he changed.
Yeah,
and then that scene with him and her when he was talking about the relationship, like that was like a dramatic. That was a real scene.
That's a real scene. That's a real scene. That's not a TV scene. That's a scene that happened in real life.
Yeah,
I can see a dude talk a homegirl talking to her homeboy, or even a homeboy talking to his partner. Hey, bro, man, you keep getting involved with this chick, bro. And she gonna break your heart every time. You lost your job last time she broke up with you, man. You blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, but it's a real scene that I can see the homie being affected by it.
Yeah.
And she came to talk to him like she knew she was wrong, that she didn't tell him. I think I'm gonna think outside the box a little bit and think Allison.
Yeah.
Which
Allison's Grace Byers, the mixed chick, biracial chick, yeah, light skinned chick. She killed the first dude by herself. Killed the fuck out of him too.
Yep.
She killed the first monster. You know what I mean? And then she helped kill the second one by opening up the turning off the door, off the lights and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So she was involved in both murders, and in the two murders, I should say. But Lisa obviously is not the main character, but she's like the main chick almost. And she did kill dude at the end, but he was already subdued. No, she hit him over the head.
No, she hit him.
She hit him over the head, and then she just packed him out, something heavy. Yeah,
I could see Allison because she had something to do with both of the killing both of the killers.
Yeah. Allison is my favorite character in this movie. I like her the most out of all of these folks. I want to hang with Allison. I'd like to have like Allison in the crew because she's cool peoples. But I do think it's Dewayne, right? I do think it's Dewayne because Dewayne's performance makes me believe this crew is real, right? Like his as an actor. I know. Like as an actor, I felt like he gave a great performance. He did, had great lines. He like anchored the movie emotionally in an interesting way. And had, in my opinion, some of the more believable reactions to what was going on, right? Like, I don't think, and I kind of get to him by like process of elimination because it's not King, it's not Namdi, right? So it can either only be Allison.
King did help though. He had the strap
for sure, but he's definitely in there in a supporting capacity. Right. So it's like either it's Allison or it's Lisa or it's Dewayne, and I think for me it's Dewayne. I think he would. I think
he had the biggest change.
Now, also one more factor for Allison.
Yeah,
when no one else knew, she knew the second verse of the David voice and sing. They would have been dead a long time ago had she not had that.
But you can say that for all of them in that because when he did the Nas thing, he the one who did the math to get the number. But he didn't really do nothing else.
But the most difficult question
don't nobody know because you can do that same math if you break down the lyrics. Everyone can do the not simple math, but the same math. Yeah, if you take the time to listen to what he said.
Hey, I changed my vote. It's Allison. It's Allison because that was the most difficult thing anybody had to do over the movie. And every line knew every stanza.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real.
And she won in spades at the end when they thought they were about to get bored. She had that 4 spades.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So she was okay, but here's the thing. Dewayne was a little pissy at first, but he had a reason to be pissy. You know what I'm saying? Dewayne was like, man, he said, he shifted in his seat? He shifted in his seat.
When she asked him to play. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Right? That's hilarious. So the writing, even in that, the writing is hilarious because it was very clear on the jokes were very clear. Yeah. Even not simple, but simply put.
Yeah.
Now, that's a bar. That's
Allison pulls the arrow. You know, everybody else is scared to do it. She pulls the arrow out of King. Yeah,
she's definitely the toughest girl.
She runs up the box score.
Yeah,
like you know, in terms of like she's got like a triple.
She did a lot.
She did a lot in this movie. Yeah, I think she's.
She found the they figured out where she got the little she went to his pockets and pulled out the little the remote to control everything. Yeah. She's real. And she's the one that saved her two homies from the monster and killed him.
She killed the first one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So but what do y'all think? Because it could easily be Dewayne. Dewayne's performance was crazy. I believed him, and him being a gay dude, he wasn't over gay, in my opinion.
No, he was real. He felt like a real person.
He was a real. He was.
I don't think they really played him being. He was like just a dude that just happened to be gay.
He happened to be gay. You know what I'm saying?
They wasn't making him like over the top.
I didn't think it was an agenda push.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I think he was fantastic. Right. Like I think he played it very well. Like we just said, he just happened to be gay.
One thing,
he's just a gay homie.
When he was just a gay homie.
Just a gay homie. Just a gay homie.
Right, he's a gay homie.
Yeah.
And he was funny as hell.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, he was riding with his partners. He was like, go on without me.
Yeah.
And then I was lying. I was just saying that. What the fuck, you left me for this nigga?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He banged on her. And then that line, that little conversation he had when they finally addressed it, he was like, you basically used me as a side boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I don't appreciate that. That's a real feeling.
Yeah.
When you feel like when you come into adversity in your relationship, you keep running to the same person, venting to them and crying on their shoulder, and you keep getting back with the same person, making the same mistake. At one point in time, that person's gonna resent you.
Yep.
And I feel like they did a great job of showing that. He finally blew up on her and told her how he felt about her.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. That was dope as hell. And he threw up on the nigga. He finally threw up on the nigga. He's like, I get nervous, I throw up.
Yep.
And that finally happened. It caught us off guard. But then right when it happened, I was like, what the fuck? I said, oh, they did say that at the beginning of the film. So I thought that was dope writing too. It's like a callback. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
It's Allison or Dewayne.
Y'all choose. What y'all think?
Any LVPs. Least valuable. Who's the least valuable person in this movie?
Namdi.
Here's the thing. If he wasn't there, Lisa would be shot and killed. But here's the thing: would she have died? She would just got shot.
Yeah,
because the
other dude took two.
Right.
So
he took one in the shoulder. You can live from that.
Yeah.
He got shot in the stomach. You probably gonna die from that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But and one thing, he was cool after that. He got shot in the stomach with an arrow at close range, and then he's waiting for the police. They smoking a blunt at the end of the movie. That was far-fetched, but I'll let him live. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's TV.
Yep.
But Namdi is not the least because he's the one that socked he was almost beating up the second dude. He was folding him, and then he slipped on the little coals. He fell. You know what I'm saying? But
he was busting.
He was busting
his gun.
Yeah.
I like that part where Cliff.
That was funny.
Changes it. That was a great.
That was dope. That's a bar. That'd
be them subtle funny moments.
Yeah, that was super. And then in Clifton's defense, because I kind of came down hard on him. Pause. But he was saying funny shit in the background. So it was like Morgan. Morgan. He was like, dude, would you try using her last name?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like little small shit he was saying in the background that was hilarious. But yeah, I would say either Dewayne or Allison, and for the least valuable, I would say Sean J. Farrell character.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, or the cop. I didn't like the fact that he went. You don't walk up on your girlfriend in the cabin without saying nothing to her.
Yeah,
and then when she was like, "Just tell me you here," announce yourself. He was like, "You asking for too much, nigga." Is she? You're not asking for too
character.
Much.
Should we count him though?
No, we shouldn't. Because the cop,
Ranger White
was whack. He was.
I think you needed him because to make it seem like he was the killer.
Yeah.
So it's so like, oh, is he a part of it? Because he wasn't, but it's like they made it seem like he was.
Here's my argument for why I think Ranger White is the LVP. They casted the wrong face. Right,
he looked too funny.
He was funny looking, right? So and because he was so funny looking, I couldn't see hero or villain in his face at all, right?
Where the goofy face Vince Vaughn,
yeah,
that's what he looked
like if you add a little bit more mystery to who you cast in that character, and get a better performance from that character, you can really spend a good portion of the movie believing Ranger White is the bad guy. Yeah. Right?
He should have been checking in on him or something.
Yeah. He just like he just looked campy. He looked like he should have been cast in Scary Movie. Right. Right? Like, you know, and so I think it was either poor performance or poor casting. Yeah. Like it was a real opportunity to have some real suspicion around Ranger White. So that's why he's my LVP. You know, the guy did the best he could, but I think, you know, under the circumstances, he could have played it a little bit better. That's all.
I agree.
Couple other little quick things.
It was we didn't even know he asked. We haven't talked about Shanika enough.
Yeah,
Shanika was dope.
She was great.
And the fact that she jumped in that water and ran and swam back.
Remind me of the Montgomery Brawl.
Yeah.
Montgomery Brawl. Montgomery Brawl.
She said, I'm going to swim across.
Yes.
She was with it.
And a part of that is like, okay, we need to get him alone with the monster. So let's get her out. What do we do with her? I have her swim. Yeah. And she swam right back. It still was cool, though. It was still okay that she was down to do it. Yeah. And then she came back. But my thing is, why they come? Oh, they came back and thought they killed the monster. They realized they got different shoes on. Yeah. So that's why they went back.
They thought it was all good. Yeah.
It ain't over yet. It ain't over with. We got one dude. Let's go back and help them get the other one.
I like that it was two people.
Yeah.
Like it was.
That makes sense.
It could have been somebody else besides twins, but.
Right.
I love it when she goes to Lisa and goes, "You smell like dick."
Oh. And then he
was like, "I smell it from over here."
I accidentally smelled some of the dick.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Oh, and that's when Dewayne found out that he was messing with her again.
Damn,
that's funny. She gave her a hug. She said, "Oh, you smell like dick." That's funny.
And then he came out.
This movie had a $5 million budget, made 17.7.
When?
That's what we like to see.
Yes,
right?
Yes, indeed.
So before we go to the rankings, I like that this movie was made, right? Yes. I want more movies like this, right? Like more movies written by y'all, people from the culture, who understand the culture, who tell it realistic. There's nothing unrealistic about this movie.
I agree.
As much as it's a parody and it's fun and it's a comedy, it's just there's an authentic portrayal of like some black folks, some young black folks at the cabin. And it plays out well. The twist could have been awesome. The Clifton twist could have been awesome.
Yes.
And it could have said something that could have been poignant. Like this movie is designed to be funny, but it could have left a little bit to be like, yeah, man, like we do need to be more inclusive. Right? Like, just, ha ha ha, but take this medicine kind of like dipped in this chocolate and humor that we've been kind of getting. Yeah. But let's get to the awards. On a scale of 5 black fists, all-time classic, to 1 black fist, a black movie that was made, how are you two gentlemen ranking The Blackening?
On an all black list?
Yeah, in terms of 5 black fists, an all-time
5 black fists is
a classic.
You
know, rare.
One black fist is like, okay, it was made.
It was made.
Out of 5, I'll give it a. I say a 4.
A 4?
Yeah, 4? I say a 4.
Where you coming in, John?
Okay. It was funny. And it's a comedy. Comedy's supposed to be funny. It's a horror. It's supposed to be scary, horrifying. It wasn't horrifying. There's a couple of moments that started off that way. But usually it's not horror. It's not scary when it's a group of people in the room looking at something that's scary. It's usually one person left alone. So they didn't have a lot of those moments yet because in real, it's realistic. Black people not gonna split up like that. They're not gonna catch a person off by themselves. Hey, I'm about to go take a shit, bro. Stand outside the door on me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was fresh. The first time I watched it, it was all right to me. The second time I said, yeah. I dug it more the second time around. Will I watch it again? Yes. because I want to see other people respond to the jokes that are coming up, the writing, and if they were affected as much as I was from the writing. So, what keeps it from being a classic, for me, an instant classic, is the ending. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a stronger, ending.
Yeah.
Like you said, the reveal of who the real antagonist is, it wasn't strong enough for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't dig he wasn't terrible. He was funny. He was hilarious. But I didn't like the choice of the kind of geek he was. Yeah. It was, that was, to me, was more unrealistic. That was probably the only unrealistic part of the film.
Yeah.
We don't know niggas like that.
There's nobody like that.
You know what I'm saying? We might know a Norbit.
Right. Yeah.
We might know a Norbit, but not even that.
Not to that
really,
extreme.
You know what I'm saying? His voice was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it just was like.
And they didn't say he had a disease or nothing.
Yeah, he was just, you just weird, nigga.
Because even the most uncool, even the weirdest black guy is still kind of cool. Right? Like I met a lot of guys in college was into Dragon Ball Z, and they was oddities, but this somebody be like, but he come from the J's, he'll whoop your ass. Right? Like,
right.
What I mean? Like you fronting on him, you know what I mean? Like, just, he's into his shit, but you know.
So I would give it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
And, I don't know if I've been doing that lately. I don't know if that's even fair.
It's fair.
No, that's fair.
Because it's above average for sure.
Yeah.
Because the writing was so strong and the acting was so strong, but the two white boy twins, they were too goofy and cumbersome for me to be scared. It just wasn't that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was too silly. They were too dumb, and
So for me, I don't have company at the house as much as I used to, because people live far apart. They got families, lives, wives, kids. But when I was getting a lot of company, this would have been the type of movie that I'd be like, "Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Let me put it on." Right? Like And so if I was to say like have some people over to the house for Halloween, I think I'm throwing this on. I think this is my go-to Halloween movie. I think I want to watch it every year because I think it is good enough and it is rewatchable enough. And there's kind of like nothing else in its place. Like out of all the movies that we've covered, and we've spent 2 years now doing black horror movies.
Yeah.
Like I'd watch Tales from the Hood again, but even then that's like not fun. Like that movie isn't like hilarious. There's some parts of it that are kind of fucking uncomfortable. But this is a good, like, throw this on. I'm watching this while people are trick-or-treating and coming by the house. Right? Like, so to that point, I'm giving it a 4. And just a strong 4 because of everything that we said. Good writing, good acting, believable characters, very relatable, some technical flaws for sure. But I think this is a movie that I'm gonna want to watch again.
It's the one, if not the best, is one of the best scary comedies in a long time. If period.
Yeah.
It does this job.
Yeah.
And like you said, the black folks was black. They were even the ones that talked proper, the ones that like Lisa seemed to come from she probably came from a better house, not better, but like a more middle class than even Allison, who was mixed.
Yeah.
She was still a sister. She was black, but Lisa but she still was black. But she was like a lawyer, well educated, well spoken. And then Shanika was just a little ghetto hood chick that clearly dressed nice. So she probably had a good job, good money, and everybody seemed to be doing well. Not just
everybody
hood only. They were hood folks that grew up and expanded their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very authentic characters. Yeah. Like everybody seems real. They talk like we talk. They laugh like we laugh.
Right.
Like really good portrayal.
Even the joke about nigga, Namdi, you're literally an African.
Yeah.
Like you in the original packaging. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These are great lines.
Right.
Okay. So that was the Blackening.
The Blackening, man. We're gonna close it down, man. Of course, we can talk more about it because I really did enjoy this film. Man, Brother Ross, thank you so much for pulling up, man.
Sir. Yes,
hopefully we get you back again soon for another movie that you like. And yeah, bro, that was dope. The Blackening, y'all watch this. If you haven't seen the film, go watch it, please, and come back and give your own take in the comments about who you think is the MVP and the LVP and how you feel about Clifton at the end of the film. Yep. I know if you haven't watched it already, stop watching. Hopefully, by the time you got to this part, you would pause the video, went back and watched it, and then came back and finished it.
It's important. Let me echo that. Like, let me look at the camera. Watch black shit. Like, watch, like, this is... There's a lot of people that complain about the lack of black shows.
Right.
It's also a business built on economics and money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't watch it, if you don't stream it, it's going to be more and more difficult for things to get greenlit.
They keep saying black doesn't sell.
Right?
Crazy.
So
it's ridiculous.
So you should have, if you haven't seen it, see it now.
Right.
You should have seen it by now.
Right.
Like, I don't love everything that... Listen, I'm not, like, it's not a monolith. I don't love everything that black people put together, but I will watch everything at the time in which I'm supposed to watch it.
Support it, yeah.
It's a big deal. When they Clone Tyrone came out, I was like, I need to watch this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was great.
This was a great movie.
Yeah.
So support black stuff.
I'm your boy, Big Ja, along with my co-host,
Trick or
Tone, with a special guest, Brother Cornell Ross. You know what I'm saying? Chill, baby, chill. You know what I'm saying? And we out. We catch y'all next time, man. Be good or be good at it. Pew to the max.
BlackBusters.